All right, fam. Hello. Hey you guys, so guess what? It's actually me post-workout, but guess who didn't film a clip pre-workout? Me. So this is my pre-workout clip post-workout. Hey, what's up? Welcome to another video. I have not done just a workout video in general slash like an in-depth workout video with you guys, and I genuinely don't even know how long. I'm taking you through a whole entire leg workout with me, and speaking post-workout, it was a very good workout. I feel toasted. Sometimes after a workout, I'm like super amped, and sometimes I'm like eternally zen, and that's me right now. Like nothing could raise my blood pressure right now. That was a weird analogy. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the workout, and I hope you guys get some helpful pointers in there that help you engage the gluteuses, because so much of having a good glute workout and getting glute growth is actually engaging your muscle and having a really good contraction. So I hope those tips help, and I'll see you after the workout. Every single solitary leg day, I always start off with glute activation. I never skip it. This has been such a game changer with my leg days, with just helping my glutes be warmed up. So when I'm actually trying to target them in exercises, they actually will contract and I can feel them, as opposed to other muscles taking over during the movements. So I'll just do probably anywhere from like 4 to 6 exercises. I honestly only do 1 set of each until I just feel a pump and a burn in my glutes. So first I just did 1 1/2 squats. Then here I'm just doing some constant tension squats just to really keep the tension in my glutes. So I stop kind of just short of a contraction at the top. Then I'm doing some donkey kicks here. I like to keep a nice bend in my knee and my heel, my foot, I guess I should say, nice and flexed. And I like to try to keep my neck in line with my spine. I'm doing some fire hydrants to warm up the side of my glutes, just because that is always kind of hard for me to activate as well. And then after that, something similar to target the same area, I also go into some side lunges and really focus on sinking down into the lunge to really feel that stretch in the side of my glutes. So I did want to show you guys kind of what the setup of hip thrust looks like for me, just because I know for some people it can seem foreign, like how the heck did she get in that position? So I usually have to pull a bench over, and I will take a barbell from somewhere, but usually I take it from that chest press rack right there like you saw and pop on the weights. And then getting into the hip thrust also can seem pretty daunting. So obviously, of course, make sure you have a pad with you to protect your hips. And I did pop a resistance band around my knee just to help, again, engage the sides of my glutes and also help me with remembering to push my knees outward throughout the move. So first and foremost, I always make sure the barbell pad is in the center of the barbell and that the pad is in the center of my hips, so that when I lift up, I'm not wobbling from side to side. So as you saw, I kind of will scrunch up my heels to my bum so I have more of a base to lift up. I will prop my elbows on the bench and will kind of shimmy up and just slide my back until about midway of my back is sitting on the bench. So I try to position my feet so my knees are stacked right over my ankles, so there's a 90-degree angle in my heel. This is crucial for feeling it in your glutes. If your heels are kicked out too far, you'll feel it more in your hamstrings, and if they're tucked in too close to your bum, that's when you'll feel it too much in your quads. So I really try to play around with that, but I try to make it so I have a 90-degree angle in my knee. I also like to point out my toes a little bit facing outward, about like a 45-degree angle. That also helps with glute engagement. But again, foot placement is so unique to everybody. So make sure that you play around with it and find what is good for you. Like literally throughout my sets, I am constantly maneuvering my feet till I find something that's comfortable. So I did 2 warm-up sets just to figure out kind of what weight I was feeling that day. And then I did 1 set where I doubled my weight for 15 reps, but I really wanted to stay within the 10 to 12 rep range. So then, as you saw, I stacked on a little bit more weight, and now I am shooting for 12 reps. So here I am getting up again, scooching my heels into my bum to get more of a base. I put my elbows up on the bench and just shimmy myself up and lift. I push with my heels and also lift with my elbows to get me up out of that position. So again, about my mid back is what is touching the bench. If the bench is up too high on your back, you will very easily slide off. So that's why I kind of get it so about mid back is on the bench. I'm really driving up through my heels. You can see how light my toes are when I'm bringing the weight back down, because so much of my weight is on my heels. That's totally where I'm pushing through with the whole movement. As you can see, my head is always facing completely straight forward. That helps with keeping a posterior pelvic tilt, which will help just with glute engagement. I'm pressing my knees outward just a little bit, again, to help recruit the glutes. And I'm really trying to limit momentum in my upper body and really just focus on driving up through my hips, tucking my tailbone, and having my glutes be what drives up that weight. First, I did 2 warm-up sets of about like 10 to 15, and then I did 2 sets of 12, and then for my final set, I just popped off those 5-pound plates and did a last set of about 15. The breakdown set always sucks, but it's worth it for the booty gains. I know it's such a turn off for people from like doing normal barbell hip thrusts, but I'm telling you, dude, it's worth it. Okay, so now we meet the lovely hack squat. Now, if you don't have one that looks like this, don't worry about it. There's a tons of different variations. I know there's a lot where you're kind of, it's almost reversed, so the weight is on the front of your shoulders instead of the back. That one will work completely fine as well. So with this one, I really kind of same principle. I really always like to keep my knees always stacked over my ankle. Sometimes I see so many people having their feet too close into their bum, and it just shifts so much more of the focus onto your quad. So I like to have my feet nice and far from my bum, so I'm able to really sink into the movement and have my glutes be what pushes me up through. So again, as you can see how light my toes are, when I'm completely coming to the top, my toes are off the mat because of how much I'm pushing through my heels. Now, what's also very important is when I come to the top, as you can see, I still have slack in my knees. I don't completely lock out. That will make you so much more prone to injury and could put a lot more stress on your knees. So make sure you keep your knees nice and loose even when you're at the peak contraction. Now, if you do have a machine similar to this, in order to get it off the rack, those little handles that I'm holding, you want to pull inward, and then when you are finished, you will push them out to the side and it will re-lock the weights. So here I did 1 warm-up set of about 10, and then I did 2 sets of about 8, and then for my 3rd set, I lowered the weight just a little bit and did 10. All right, so next we have more of a posterior chain movement, meaning it's going to be focusing more on the back side of your leg rather than the front. This is a constant tension, stiff-legged, single leg deadlift. Very long name, I guess, but I really do love this one to target my glutes and get my hamstrings in there as well. So as you can see, my right leg is a dead leg. That's why it's bent. It's just pretty much propped behind me just to help with balance, but all of the focus here really is on my left glute. So same principles here. As you can see, a lot of the weight is in my heel. I am pushing my hips back, and as I'm lowering the weight to shift the load to my glutes and my hamstring, and then I pull up nice and tight and controlled through my heel, and I stop kind of just short of full contraction. As you can see, I don't come up and shove my hips forward. I stop right before I get that really peak contraction where I would need to physically squeeze my glutes, just to keep that tension there and just to have a different form of stimulus. So here I did 3 sets of 15. Moving right along, then I hopped on the lying leg curl machine. Here I just did 3 sets of 15. Really tried to push my weight here as well. I don't have too many pointers for this one, but when I do this, I just like to keep in mind to try to keep my hips in contact with the pad instead of letting my butt come up. So I kind of focus on almost thrusting my hips forward as I pull the weight up to help keep my hips down just a little bit. Now, with all these movements, I really want you guys to keep in mind a couple of things. Firstly, to think about the muscle that you are using. That mind to muscle connection is completely transformative and will completely make your session so much more effective and efficient, because it will make your contraction just have so much better quality, which is really important. And also, with all of these things, with all of the rep ranges I'm telling you, it really doesn't matter the rep range. What truly matters is that you are training hard and training until failure, if not close to failure. So their muscle growth can occur at pretty much any rep range from 4 reps to all the way up to 15 or 20 reps. What really matters is that you are fatiguing the muscle and forcing stimulus on the muscle fibers. So I want your last 3 to 5 reps of all of these exercises that I'm showing you to be very, very tough. You should not be able to do no more than maximum 2 more reps
at the end of your set. That's how max effort you should be giving during every set. So now I'm just ending off with a few sets on the abduction machine. This will give us more of a lateral movement, which again will help build the side glutes, which is what I personally really like, to build a rounded, shapely booty. So here you can do it whatever feels comfortable to you, whichever makes you feel the best contraction, because everybody's different, everybody's anatomy is different. But with this one specifically, because the back of the chair is so declined, I like to raise up and hold on to the front of the machine and really focus on pushing outward with the sides of my knees in more of a sweeping motion and squeezing my glutes to do so. I also like to personally position my feet on so my toes are elevated and my side of my foot is completely touching the side of that foot bar as well. So here I did 3 sets. First set was a 15, second set was of 12 reps by upping the weight, and my last set was 10 reps.